Okay, everyone to your seats, please. Folks, seats, please. All right, if everyone can stand up and remove your hats, please. We're going to start with the prayer. Heavenly Father, as we just celebrated Thanksgiving, we have a lot to be thankful for. Our being here in this great country, the United States of America, for our President, Donald J. Trump, for all those who are by his side, including each and every person in this room, for all those who have renewed their memberships or have joined recently, we thank you, God, for bringing them into our presence. As we officially change to Lv-Maga, we ask you for the proper resources and talent and put the right people in our places that we may make things great here in the Lehigh Valley. As we come close to your Son's birthday, Jesus Christ, help us to remember that Jesus is the reason for the season, and we ask you to bless this meeting. Amen. Amen. Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see? I long early high, but surrounding me and the firelight's last gleaming, whose sunshines and bright stars through the perilous night. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets that lay well on Thursday came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Open remarks, Juan Reynosa. Please come to the stage. Board member Juan Reynosa. Please come to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could direct your attention to the podium. What does it say on our podium? I don't know. I hope people have been looking up there. On the podium, we have the Tea Party sign. Tonight, we are officially taking that one down and replacing it with Lv-Maga. Juan, do your job. Juan is a board member and he's helping with the transition team. Also, if I could direct your attention. All right, Juan. And also, as I spoke with Juan earlier when we were setting up early today at 2 o'clock, the flag directly behind the podium was donated by the spouse of a member. His name was Tom. And when she gave me the flag, she said, Andrew, this is for you. This was on Tom's coffin. I said, I'm not sure how I could use it. It always annoyed me, the backdrop behind the podium. If you look behind the podium, there's the window and wires and all that. And I said, my goodness, this was an easy transition and the flag fits just right. So when you see the videos, you see our podium and you see our flag. Opening remarks are simple. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in Lv-Maga. And I hope each and every one of you has a very blessed Christmas. Couple quick announcements. We have a lot of things going on tonight, so if you could stay put, and we'll tell you where you need to drop off donations, pick up cars, and all that good stuff. Okay, literature. Do not put any literature on the tables without seeing myself or a board member that will bring it to my attention. If we catch you doing that, we'll send you to the principal's office. But no, seriously. Don't put anything on the tables without even getting permission. Thank you. Everyone's been very respectful. All right. The speakers, when they come up on stage, please give them your full and undivided attention. If you need to speak to someone, hold them in the back of the room. Try to keep it down to a bare minimum. Okay? Membership and treasury reports are as follows. Total members, we have 7,459. Bank balance, $55,247.46 with a credit line available funds, $24,000. All right. And this was a slide that we put in there by mistake from last month. Okay, first-time attendees. Are there any first-time attendees here? Stand up so we can recognize you. There is a couple here from Florida. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, we have two drawings tonight, actually several drawings. The first one is in the back of the room, Tom Jory, waving his hand where it says raffle tickets. That's a 50-50 cash drawing that will be done at the end of the night. Also, if you have joined or renewed your membership, okay, make sure you pick up your tags directly behind me because we will have a $100 cash drawing, but you have to get that ticket. That is one of the reasons I did it, is so we don't have to mail them all out. I encourage people to pick up. Sometimes you come to the meeting, you don't pick them up, all right? Also, you should have new opportunity to wear your name tags. We got like a red, stand up here, young lady. Stand up there. All right, there you go. All right. Make it simple for us, because then we know who's members and who's not. Make sure you wear those. Also, we have in the back, Melissa, in the back, standing up there waiting at you, where it says Second Amendment. We have, for $10, we sell 100 tickets. We draw when we sell the 100 tickets, or $10. You can use that win of $500 to purchase something out of Relic Hunter, Lehigh Valley Sporting Clays, or A.F. Boyer Hardware. So it's a good drawing. Melissa, how many do we have left? Ballpark?
Well, raffled it last.
Oh, okay. So we're in a new raffle.
On a new one, so we've sold. We have sold 22 tickets. So
22 tickets sold tonight. All right. Okay. Also, if you do not have cash, money, you can go to our credit card machines, where Heather, Joanne, and Heather are, and you can swipe your card, and you can get a $10 token, or we also have a special, you can get 10 tokens for 100 tonight. You can use it for anything you want. If you want to give something towards Bobby Guthrie and you don't have a check or cash, we'll figure out a way. If you charge something, we'll get that money to the children's home. All right. I am a member of a church called Sacred Heart in Bethlehem. I belong to what is called the Knights of Columbus Council, and we have for sale tonight. I only have a few left, but these are yard signs here. So you don't only have a political sign, but here you have a yard sign. They're $10 a piece, and I also have magnets for the back of your car or your kitchen refrigerator. Those are $5. If you like one of those, see me at their break so I can give the sales back to my Knights of Columbus Council. So thank you for your consideration. Okay, next up, U.S. Law will be one of our speakers this evening. Do yourself a favor and make sure that if you have any type of weapon in your house or you carry it with you, that God forbid you have to use it, that you have a lawyer ready to go. Lawyer up and shut up. We'll say more later.
Okay.
All right. Whoa. Hold on. See if I can go back here. All right. And over here, if you could keep in your prayers, we're going to have Valerie come up regards to support the troops and also keeping your prayers to the young lady that did die serving our country, and then this gentleman that's still in critical care.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas. And before I begin, I have a favor to ask of all of you, and it's really simple. When you came here, you sat down. When you leave, you leave. But there's a lot of people who come, like Andrew said, at 2 o'clock today to make those tables comfortable. And we live in a great country. Thank God that we have the freedom to do what we're doing here, unlike a lot of other countries. So tonight when you leave, those little flower pots on the table, they say donations. But they're not the tissues and garbage and everything else for us to clean up. So I'm going to ask you, somebody at the table, put the pens in them, put $1 or $2 in them, and then we will continue. And if there are flyers, just organize the flyers so it will make us easier. Okay, so the advertisement is over. Okay, so as Andrew said, unfortunately, I have 2 kids in D.C., and one of them was at the shooting. Fortunately, he's fine, because he originally heard that there were 3 people that were shooting 3 people. And as we know, which was false, but as we know, Sarah passed away, and Andrew is still in the hospital. So I have addresses by my table. You can come over and take a picture of the flyer. Sarah's family is asking for donations in memory of her. She was on the force 1 day. She was 20 years old. So I guess she loved animals, so there's a donation for an animal society. I have the address. Come over and see me. And Andrew's family is asking for cards. So I have that address too. I have some beautiful cards, some new ones. I have 2 things. I always ask you people to write a letter to military that I put in my packages. For those who don't know me, I send packages year round, and I just started my 17th year. So I'm getting close to 4,000 packages. And I put children's drawings and letters from you people, so you can write a letter to a military person, and you can write a letter to Andrew's family for Andrew, for when he wakes up. He'll always have these. So thank you very much. But last month I said how my bread and butter was always getting a thank you note. Well, God provides. So I'm just going to share this lengthy letter that is beautiful. And then I found out who his parents were. And it's just wonderful how things happen. Because I didn't know when I was given this name who he was. Anyway, dear Support the Troops Incorporated, it is with great appreciation and thanks that I write to you on behalf of the airmen of the Combined Air Operations Center 609 Expeditionary Air Communication Squadron. Your care package reached a very high tempo, high stress environment and provided a welcome bit of thoughtfulness and a reminder of home for everyone assigned here. Your generous care package arrived to the delight of the 76th USAF personnel, and the goods were distributed among some very happy airmen. Though it may seem a small thing, little surprise tokens of appreciation like that go a very long way towards making our airmen serving over here feel a renewed sense of pride and worthiness, especially with the holidays rapidly approaching and our families so far away back home. I wish I could send you a picture of the airmen enjoying their gift box, but they are a very sensitive information facility, so pictures are not allowed inside around the exterior grounds. Be assured that your box is greatly appreciated and everyone got to benefit from your generous generosity and thoughtfulness. The cards included in the care package are hung up in the cubicles throughout the floor. You inquired about future care packages. We are in a rotation-mannered facility, so airmen are coming and going all the time. However, if anyone cared to send anything to the general staff, care packages can be sent addressed to me through mid-March, and the address is below. I will make sure the contents are distributed to all our airmen. Ironically, the next day, I got a phone call from my friend Nancy Smith. Unfortunately, she's a Gold Star parent. She said, I have all these Christmas cards, and I don't know who to send them. Do you have an address you can give me? I never give out anybody's address, but I gave out Jeremy's. So thank all of you who support me. Come write a note, and somebody else need what I'm looking for. Believe it or not, those small packages of tissues. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless America. Keep our president safe, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Valerie. Okay, why we ask for donations. This is a business, folks, and we have expenses to operate when we send out robocalls, text blasts, anything we do behind the scenes, which is many things, and to run this meeting here at the hall. And we just thank you so much for your generosity over this past year. And please, again, consider donating tonight by placing some money into those buckets. We greatly appreciate it. Okay, so without further ado, we have the voice of the Lehigh Valley. From 790 WAV, Mr. Bobby Gunter Walsh.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you to each of you. I appreciate you having me up here. I know that Andrew is doing a fundraiser on behalf of the Children's Home of East, which I'll talk about in a minute. I did want to say, though, the raffle tickets back there. You can buy those, it's 50-50, so, but you have to be present to win. So I bought an Armstrong. And then Tom said, you have to be present to win. I said, well, I won't be present. He goes, I'll take your tickets, and I'll let you know if you won. Now, I might have been born at night, but it wasn't last night. Yeah. My mother once told me, she goes, you're not the dumbest guy in the world, but if he dies, you're in trouble. But I'm not falling for that one. But you can buy those raffle tickets. I'm donating mine if I do win it. So everybody buy the tickets, but don't anybody else win. I'm donating mine to the Children's Home. Yeah. So I have to say a couple of things. The Children's Home of Easton has been around for longer than I've been around, but I've been doing this party, the WATD listener Christmas party for the Children's Home of Easton for 42 years. Yeah, and you guys have been going to make it happen. And we've had some incredible kids on the show this week talking about their childhood. So everybody's asking you for money, and I know you're being asked all the time. But if you can give it, it would be greatly appreciated. That said, I just think I pick certain charities because I know they're good causes and they're good charities. And if you came from a broken home, you have no idea what some of these kids have been through. What you're doing for them is generational. You're not just helping them, but these kids, seriously, would be, they turn out, like Terrence Hand, who's now in his 50s, an Easton firefighter, went to the Naval Academy. He was at the Children's Home when I first started at WATD. He was there for like 4 years. He could have ended up in jail. Instead, he went to the Naval Academy as an Easton firefighter and is giving back. Yes, sure, give him a round of applause. But the point is, you're making a difference not just by presence and giving them gifts. You're making a difference for somebody's lifetime and then for all of us because they're trying not to be productive citizens. So you can either donate to the Children's Home of Easton Fund, or maybe you want to give it to Milwaukee for the Somali Fund. In case you want to give some money there.
Okay, all right.
Don't you love when the government says it's charity to take care of the poor? But that's not. When they take your money from you involuntarily and give it to somebody else, that's not charity. That's not charity at all. Charity is you voluntarily choosing who you give to, and you voluntarily choosing to give if you give at all. That's charity. So easy to be charitable with other people's money, isn't it? And then you don't keep track of it. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. The last thing I want to say, I usually don't plug my show up here. Everybody knows I'm on. I don't really try to get you to listen. However, I'm going to make an exception. I had Joshua Phillip on this week on 2 segments. I believe he was on Tuesday. He's an investigative reporter for the Epic Times. Then I had Casey Fleming on. He's a strategic risk person. He analyzes global risks. That's what he does all the time. And then today I had the U.S. Air Force retired Brigadier General Blaine Holt on for 2 segments. Yeah, it was an impressive lineup, and they're all up. You go to 790waeb.com, click on Gunther, it'll say podcast. Click on that, and you can scroll down and listen to the segments. And I'm urging you to do that because so many of us are not for foreign wars and you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene saying America first. I am not for us being in Ukraine. I'm not for us going to war there. I'm not for a lot of them. I'm not for us being in the Middle East. Certainly for us supporting Israel, yes. But what Trump is doing with Venezuela, if you listen to these 3 gentlemen, folks, we are in World War III right now. We are in World War III. It's a drug war. It's a propaganda war. It's also a biological weapons war with COVID. We're in a war now, and that war is primarily with China and the one world burgers, whatever you want to call them, the global elites. Isn't it interesting when Trump went after Venezuela, the United Kingdom said, we're not going to give you any more of our intelligence reports. Now, whose side are they on? And what's up that they don't want to stop the drugs coming here? So you need to, I hope you would listen to that and understand that Venezuela is not about a foreign war. It's about a war against us, like it's happening on our shores with importing terrorists, importing drugs, drugging our, if Blaine or Joshua talked about the opium wars that we did, the east to west did to China. This is their revenge. It's really interesting stuff, folks. We are in a war, and I'll leave you with this, because 2 of the 3 gentlemen also said this. They're very concerned because President Trump has done a much better job this time of picking the right people. But he has surrounded himself with some people, and Blaine Holt named some of them. They're not on our side, and they're not on his side. I'll give you one example. Pam Bondi. Nothing's happening, folks, and it should be. So, I'm just going to leave you with this. First of all, a big thank you for your generosity and for always being kind to me. But also, I'll echo the previous sentence. Please, please pray for our president every day, all the time. God bless you. Merry Christmas.
Folks, again, listen to Bobby. He's up early in the morning. 5 o'clock, is it, Bobby? 5 o'clock?
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock. So I listen to always. He had a great Thanksgiving presentation where he put Rush's truth about Thanksgiving. I was at a location myself, but that was great, and I have a copy of it, so we might do that next month. All right, so next up we are going to welcome U.S. Law Shield, and we're going to actually play a video from them first, if this works here.
U.S. Law Shield member David Edmonds protected himself from a violent attack that could have easily ended in tragedy. He is one of many members who credits our independent program attorneys and U.S. Law Shield with making the aftermath of their self-defense shooting incidents easier to navigate. Here's the conclusion of his story.
Bought a pistol with the hope that I never used it, other than target practice. I was just defending myself. We all have that right, right? You think you do, but the police that show up don't know what you're doing. right? As far as they're concerned, you're the bad guy. Who's the suspect? You've just been violently attacked by somebody completely at random. And now you're the suspect? If you're in an incident where you use firearms, you call 911. The next call, U.S. law. Consider this was Saturday, holiday weekend, 4th of July, 2:15 a.m. I'm going to call him. Get somebody on the line. A guy answered the phone. Oh, thank God. I told him what happened. Doug was in Colorado. I was in California, so we talked on the phone, and he went in the other room to talk to the detective, and the detective brought the phone back and said, you know, we talked to the attorney again, so we talked, and then he told me that they're prepared to release you, but the state, he said, they're telling their story on speakerphone with you, and I hear anything, or you feel uncomfortable, you can stop the interview, you can ask me a question. So it's like happening right there. Great. He said they're ready to release you, and then it started shaking. I can't believe I'm going to get to go home. In my case, the evidence was pretty clear. I think I would have been released, but I hate to think would have happened or could have happened if I didn't have the truth. What are you going to do if you didn't have that? You're going to start asking the police for a phone book. You're going to go through the yellow pages and look for an attorney at 2:15. It's rather terrifying. We've done everything we could to avoid that situation, and then you're the target of possible prosecution. Scary stuff. If you defend yourself and you think that's the end of the problem, that's probably the start of a whole new part of the problem. Doug was just so reassuring. I'm so grateful for U.S. Law Shield. I can't imagine what would have happened without that, but I'm never not going to be on that line.
Here's Kirk Evans.
At U.S. Law Shield, we're passionate about defending the constitutional rights of firearm owners. And we want to help them understand the responsibilities that come with those rights. If you're ever forced to defend yourself or your family, it's important to be prepared. Our members receive 24/7, 365 access to our attorney-answered emergency hotline. Local self-defense attorneys on call to legally defend you and your rights. Immediate, privileged access to an attorney for defense in criminal or civil cases, or legal advice at no additional cost. Unlimited access to our firearms and self-defense educational resources, access to our non-emergency helpline for legal questions, and legal updates relevant to you and your family. We never want you to be caught off guard. It's important to us that you get the coverage you need.
If someone near you is ever injured from an accidental discharge or during a self-defense incident, it's crucial that you can provide them with first aid quickly, confidently, and without fear of defending yourself in court. By joining U.S. Law Shield, you'll receive the following member benefits valued at over $175 at no additional fee. This member benefit will give you the education, tools, and legal protection you need to provide life-saving aid. This package includes our First Aid for Gunshot Wounds online course and handy field guide that will educate you on how to treat different kinds of life-threatening gunshot wounds. This field guide is written by Dwayne McBride, a military vet and first responder with more than 21 years of field experience as an emergency medical paramedic and combat medic, and Rick Hamaspar, MD, an award-winning battlefield medicine expert who has trained elite special operations and SWAT medics to save lives in the most extreme conditions. This guide provides real-world guidance that will help you stop bleeding fast, stabilize the victim, control shock until EMS arrives, and so much more. The course and guide are easy to understand, and no previous medical training is required. You'll also get our easy-to-carry gunshot wound urgent care kit, complete with the very same life-saving gear trusted by first responders, including gauze, tourniquet, dressings, and much more. But that's not all. U.S. Law Shield members who complete the First Aid for Gunshot Wounds online course receive Good Samaritan coverage at no extra cost. This coverage provides legal representation in defense of any criminal or civil proceeding arising from your provision of emergency aid after a self-defense or accidental discharge incident. Join right now, and as part of your membership, you'll get access to the First Aid for Gunshot Wounds online course, our Gunshot Wound Field Guide with expert guidance, this Gunshot Wound Urgent Care Kit with everything you see here, and Good Samaritan coverage from U.S. Law Shield once you've completed the course online. This life...
Mackenzie won and Dave McCormick won because we made it too big to rig. We had so many Republicans that came out to vote on election day and also voted by a mail-in ballot. So if we want to win, we need to embrace this. And so I ask you as Republicans and as patriots and as you know, people that appreciate what our president is trying to do, please consider a mail-in ballot. 2026 is such a critical year. It's going to set us up for 2028 as well. So I would ask you just to consider it. We have the applications right over there. It takes like 90 seconds. We just need your driver's license. We will send it to the county election office. They will process it. You'll get an email confirmation. And then when you actually vote, you'll get an email confirmation that your ballot has been received. You have a question?
Yeah, well, on the last paper, the way I understood what you said was you could fill out your mailing ahead of time and take it on voting day to the precinct, but you cannot do that. I've been a judge of election.
Okay, so you can bring it to the election office, you can drop
take it and turn it in to the judge of elections on election day.
the ballot, yeah, if it's not filled out. Yeah, if it's not filled out, you can hand
You'll
it in.
rip it up and you can go on the sheet, but if you want to submit your mailing, it has to go to the government office.
Yeah, it has to be dropped off,
At
yeah,
that.
in the drop off, sorry for
I
that.
just wanted to
Yeah.
verify.
But that's the only thing, so just, you say they rip them up?
No. We have to.
You spoil them.
Just spoil them.
Okay, so that as long as people know to make sure that it's spoiled and that there's no issue, then do that. Just don't either contact us if there's any issue with it being spoiled.
Time so that it is literally mailed.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
not.
Or just drop it in the drop off. Yeah, thank you.
Folks, if you have any other questions for them, come and see them at their table because we're trying to stay on time, and since we have to do a little adjustment here at the IT table, we have data cable, then we'll have those mics up and running, okay? So wait till mics come to you. Ladies, thank you so much for everything you do. We're going to hold the best for last. We're going to hold Bill Falkenberg till after break, but before we go to the break, a couple quick things. I neglected to put a slide up there. We have a pro-life bus going to Washington, D.C. I'm the captain of that bus. We depart from St. James, and that is Friday, I believe, the 22nd or 23rd, but it is in January. It's $20. I always have a full bus, and that is, again, going to be leaving from St. James. If you're interested in seeing me, I already have about 15 seats sold. I predict that I will have a sold bus. Also, is anyone familiar with the Bill of Rights?
Yep.
All right, outstanding. They have a banquet. It's their 34th Bill of Rights banquet, and it's on Monday, December 15th. Tony is going to stand up here. Tony, where are you? Stand up. If you're interested in more information about that Bill of Rights banquet, go see her during the break. She'll give you more information. All right, thank you. And Kitty Edgar in the back of the room. She was our former secretary. She could stand up in the red. She's the one that checks you in. Oh, there she is walking back there. She will be first to get desserts because it is her birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. She is what is called to me a go-to person, so she helps me out even though she's no longer the secretary. When I need something done, I say, Kitty, would you help me? She says, yes. So thank you, Kitty, and happy birthday. Last thing before we go to our break, please, again, I know money is tight, but we have a couple things that we would like to bring to your attention. One is the 50-50 in the back. The Second Amendment, they have the 100-gun ticket raffle. Tonight, we're going to do the Guns and Goodies tickets. Last chance. Come and see Emily or myself here behind here. $20 a ticket. And then you have U.S. Law Shield. They're giving you a special. You get an extra month for free. Bob and Dr. Walsh, we are accepting checks and or cash or gifts to take to the Easton Children's Home. And don't forget that someone will be kind enough to sponsor a Lehigh student. And we would like to thank our board member, Ben White. Ben, where are you with your beautiful wife? He is our coffee sponsor. He gets the first cup of coffee. All right, folks, it's time to hit those dessert tables. If you can let my staff hit those dessert tables first, I would appreciate it. And don't forget to fill those buckets.
At warp speed, because time's not on our side. And we've got great people everywhere, including all the members here and everyone else that supports us. So I want to thank you. Any other questions? Oh, got a bunch. Go ahead, sir.
No, what I was wondering is, could we improve our message that we stress the point that every Republican should vote in every election because they're all important. If we let this slack, we're going to lose. We need everybody to vote.
We do need everyone to vote, and the razor's edge of this is a lot of our members are Democrats.
Yes.
But they vote Second Amendment.
Yeah, right.
Okay? As I know a lot of unions that I work with and talk to, right? They may stand up here on the stage and say, you got to vote for Hillary, and they shout out from the, go, you know what yourself, because they know what's putting the money on the table and where the work's coming from. So, you know, I'll get these emails and don't you dare support this candidate from Texas. And it's like, well, super strong Second Amendment, screwed up on a couple of other things. But if he loses the primary, it would probably take $5 million for him to win the general. And if he loses and the other guy runs, he may lose the general and it's going to cost $100 million. You know, these are all the chess moves we're working with. We don't always get it right. I'll be the first one to say that. And I've been super critical on endorsements from NRA. We do over 6,000 endorsements. We don't endorse during the primary. Only once. Trump in 16. First time ever. Because there isn't enough money and it isn't worth agitating the voters by supporting somebody in the primary that a lot don't want. So it's, you get the arrows in the back and you get them in the front. There was another question.
Last question from Ben.
Yeah, Bill, what's the NRA's relationship with GOA?
What's our relationship with GOA, Gun Owners of America? Can I bring down the cone of silence? Can we go into executive session? How many are familiar with the suppressor bill? Take suppressors off. We worked really, really hard in the House to get that bill passed. And we had the bill passed through the House with taking it off of the NFA, the National Firearms Act, and making it as like a transferring a gun. It's 4473. The bill then went over to the Senate. And we gave the parliamentarian there who had the ability to see if it fit into all this criteria, whether it was a tax or not a tax. And GOA went and amended the bill to add short barrel rifles and short barrel rifles and machine guns to the bill. And it was a bridge too far. So we didn't, but you lost the ability to have a suppressor under a 4473. And what we did get was a $0 tax. So come January 1, you can buy a suppressor with a tax stamp that's $0. Now, that was our poison pill. Because the Supreme Court has ruled you can't have a tax that's $0. So what basically has happened is suppressors now for the next 2 to 3 years will be litigated at a couple of $1 million. We'll get there. But unfortunately, it's been dragged out through the courts now and costs more money. So you're still going to have to be a tax stamp on them for now. But we filed 2 court cases. And, you know, we're the adults in the room, right? If you look what happened here in Pennsylvania, this is a good example. Sunday hunting, right? Very polarizing issue, right? Very polarizing. If we had gone 4 or 5 years ago and said we want every Sunday for hunting, we would have never passed anything. But we got 3 days. What happened this year? You've got 52 Sundays to hunt. So it's incremental, right? Sometimes I don't like it either, but we got to be realistic about what's the end game, right? And that's what the Democrats are super at. It's incremental. It's slice. You're dying of 1,000 slices. Well, we got to learn from them and turn it back on them. So, you know, there's certain things we all want. In September, I asked the board to pass a resolution that our #1 initiative will be national right to carry. National right to carry. We have the votes in the House by 1 or 2. It's really close. Massey may come down to be the deciding vote. And you know where he's friends with. So we probably have that in the House. The Senate's the problem. We need 60 votes. Unless we can get rid of the filibuster or attach it to a must-pass bill. The break here, the budget break, the shutdown of the government, delayed a lot of what momentum we had going in. And now with the holidays and the break and everything, is Don Jr. said to me back, and I think it was June, if we don't get national right to carry passed now, it'll never get passed. It is that important, and we're putting the full court press on it, and we've got probably 51, 52 votes if they do away with the filibuster, or if we have to put it on a must-pass bill. The president campaigned on it. You can go out and see videos. He will sign it. I asked if I could meet with him for 5 minutes on Tuesday. You know, he's coming to the area here on Tuesday. And I asked if I could trying to get some clearance on that because I know how tight his schedule is. But that's something I wanted to talk to him some more about because I'm talking with his staff in the White House in that regard. There's a lot going on, but that is our #1 initiative. We have over 60 lawsuits right now. Wow. 60. And we've got some of the best legal minds on that. And like somebody said earlier here, you know, Bobby Gunther's a treasure here to the Valley for Conservative Talk Show. What do we do when he retires? We have a great depth of people at NRA and outside scholars helping us, so we have continuity. And when these mass, that's all they do is they eat, breathe, you know, Madison papers, this papers, that papers, interpreting this, interpreting that. So when we go to court, we're prepared. We're really prepared. All right, I think Andrew's going to throw me off the stage.
We're going to invite him back, right, folks? Invite him back? Okay. Thank you. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. So, although he's not the chairman of the Pennsylvania State Republican Party, he's, like he said, he's serving us well with the NRA. So, thank you, Bill.
Thank you. God bless and Merry Christmas to everyone.
Final announcements. We're going to go through this quickly because I know you're here for certain things. All right, Berks County Patriots. If you'd like to attend, their event is Thursday, December 18th. Kindly take a picture of that. Is Sam and his wife here tonight? No. Okay. We'll move on to the next one. Our next meeting will be January 8th. As we told you, Turning Point will be here. So we expect you to bring some family, friends, and some youth to our program. All right, folks, it's time for Guns and Booties, number 3, raffle drawing. Jackie. All right, we're going to call a few people to come up and select. We're going to ask Harrison from the Lehigh, Bill Bockerberg. Get a couple other people. Dr. Blow, come up. You'll be picking a ticket. Scott, in the back, come up here. Line up here alongside the stage. You're going to be drawers. Thank you. All right. We're going to call Tom Campione. He's going to draw a ticket. Tom Campione is the one that made this Lehigh Valley Tea Party and is helping us change the Lehigh Valley. Just line up over here, up on stage. We'll get a couple of people up on stage. There'll be drawers. Okay. She has a job. All right, Anne-Marie, can you come up over here on stage? All right, no problem. We'll get a couple more people. All right, folks, we're going to go through them as quickly as possible. Hold on 1 second, let me get to the right slide.
I won.
All right, the first one is going to be a Glock. Let me get to the other computer screen here. Bear with me, folks. All right, it's going to be a Glock. Can I see the clipboard over here? All right, so that makes sense. So the first one is a Glock 43 9mm. The winning ticket is, Jackie, you have the microphone, you can call it out.
Chris DeCourcy.
Is Chris DeCourcy here? And who sold the ticket?
It's not Chris.
Do we have a phone number, I hope? All right. All right, next one is going to be a Smith & Wesson Equalizer 9mm. Scott's going to draw the winning ticket. Chuck, if you can come up on stage from your small shield too.
We have Roger Worley.
Roger Worley, is he here? All right, the next number is the Glock 19 Generation 5 9mm. Spinning good there. Harrison.
We have Bill Bockenberg.
Ah, Bill Bockenberg. You won the handgun. He's saying place it back in there. He's going to put it back in there. Draw another winner for that. Hold on.
WD-40 on that wheel.
All right. Dr. Hello? Ben, come up, please, Ben. Paul, please come up.
Scott Hugh.
Scott Hugh, are you here in the audience? You have won the Glock 19. Next up is the 6 Sauer P365. 6 Sauer P365.
Lee Hoffer.
Lee Hoffer. Is Lee Hoffer here? All right. The next handgun is a Springfield Hellcat. And any of you know who our attorney from U.S. Law Shield, he's a Springfield guy.
Gina Barber.
Figures they're never here in the audience. All right, folks, we're going on to some other great prizes. Those were the handguns. The next one is AF Border Hardware Guns, a $100 gift card. If you are here, we have that certificate for you. And Franklin, come on up. All right. Jim, can you come up? And your beautiful wife will be on deck for a drawing. Tara De Leon, you're on deck.
Scott Price.
And again, that was for the AF Border Hardware, correct? Next up, Lehigh Valley Sporting Place. We'll have an opportunity to go to Lehigh Valley Sporting Place. 2 people will shoot at Lehigh Valley Sporting Place. The winner.
Greg Benikoff.
All right. And let's take a look over here. I'll go. All right, here we go. Next prize is U.S. Law Shield. Is that, no, we're at the Hanson Belt and Buckle. Now look, you see my belt buckle here? This is the belt. It's a ratchet belt. It's great for carrying your handguns, and you can have a gift box set here. If anyone carries a gun, whoa, okay. You got 3 belts there. Look, they have the flag one there. I'm telling you, and if it goes bad, you hold them up, they send you a new belt. Just like that. This is a great...
James Rush is the winner.
Is he here? He was here? All right. Next up, Biagio Restaurant. U.S. Law Shield. So you get a 1-year membership for U.S. Law Shield. Go ahead. Yep. All right. Charlie Knight, are you still here?
Steve
Charlie, come on
Goosley.
up.
Steve Goosley.
Steve Goosley. Is he here? Okay, next up is Biagio Restaurant. Go ahead, Charlie. Harrison, you're on deck. Sam Negron, you're on deck. This, from Philadelphia, you're on deck. This is Biagio Restaurant.
Tony Patrick.
He's here? Oh, we got one person here. All right, next one, another Italian restaurant. Again, I get these prizes because I eat there. La Bella Restaurant, $50 gift card. That's down in Easton.
Gail Kravitz.
Gail Kravitz, is she here? The Biagio's is here, should they come on. Next one, another Italian restaurant. Pizza Chef. Pizza Chef.
Herb Lava.
All right. Next one is Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse. $50 gift card from Texas Roadhouse.
Carlo Corleone.
Carlo, is there a Carlo here? You know, since none of these people are here, we could shut off the video camera. Just kidding. All right, next one. Primo Hoagies. Yeah, we have 22 gifts here, folks. Primo Hoagies, $25 gift card.
Oh, Carlos Colon. Dr. Colon.
Dr. Colon. While he's coming up here, we'll have him pick another one. Bud, come on up and pick a ticket for us. 14. Go ahead. Yep, come on. Both of you go. All right, next one is Don Juan Mexican Grill. $25 gift card. See, we don't only get Italians, we get Mexicans.
Michael Servers.
That was Don Juan Mexican Grill. Next one over here, Bud's gonna pick Fearless Fire Company downstairs, $25 gift card.
Gail Kravitz.
Gail Kravitz. Gail here? She here? All right, next one over here will be a Dunkin' Donuts $20 gift card, which will get you a cup of coffee. Making sure you're still awake. All right. There you go. Pick it.
Stephen Purdy.
Scott, can you pick the next one? Dunkin' Donuts. Another Dunkin' Donuts gift card. Juan Reynosa, please come up to the stage.
Emily Mary.
Ah! What did she win? Guess where I'm going to eat this weekend.
I don't know why these winners are not here.
Mission Barbecue. 2 sandwiches.
Bonnie Snicker.
All right, next up. Anyone need their oil changed? More Miles Mike to get an oil change at More Miles Mike in Bethlehem.
Chris Bagley.
Oh, Chris, I know Chris. He is a firefighter. He sold a bunch of the tickets for us, so that will work out good for him. All right, we have two more left. Is there someone that would like to pull? Oh, Barbara. Also,
What kind of handgun do you have? 380, right? 380? 380 ammo.
all right, this one is for anyone need a haircut. Gentleman's Barbershop, $35 gift certificate.
Bing Maloney.
See here. It is a man.
May Maloney.
Either May. I guess she's going to donate it to a gym. And our last one is for the Green Pond Country Club for 2 rounds of golf. And that will be drawn by Kitty Edgar. The birthday girl. The stage she's passing through. And the winner is
Robert Kiefer.
folks, we can't thank you enough. We have never failed on our guns and goodies. Most of us didn't win, including myself, but we thank you so much for participating. We have more prizes, so don't go anywhere. So thank you so much for helping out. Again, this helps us show. All right, we're going to do now the 50-50 pound jewelry. Can you tell us what we have in the pot?
Yes, it is $215 for the winner. And I want to thank Aaron Carr here for helping out, filling in for Mo. And he will draw the winning ticket. And the winning number is 0717608.
Hello. There you go.
We have a winner. Bring it back. It's 0717608.
Okay.
And if the winner could come back to the back table.
The back table gone. All right, our last drawing will be for $100 cash. Valerie Ferguson from Support the Troops will pick that. While she's coming up here, let me remind you, we have the buckets still out if anyone has any leftover cash or they want to give us a donation. Also, please put all the stuff in the middle, the literature, if there's garbage, and if you can put it in the back. This is for $100, so you have to have
your pink ticket, so everyone get out your tickets. Come on. Here's $100. Alright. Where's mine? Yeah, with my ticket. Alright, here's the number. 638896. So let me repeat it. 6388964. Look at that. See, you should be a coffee sponsor. You got his $100 stuff. All right, folks, just let me see what we have left here. Thank you for your generosity. Closing remarks. To all of you, we want to thank you for being here tonight. We want to wish you a happy Hanukkah, a very Merry Christmas, and remember, we'll have Turning Point come here next month. Our meeting will not be on the 1st of January, it will be the 8th of January. And at this time, we'll close with a prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this organization, Lv-Maga, which their goal is godly objectives, assure lasting success, to serve this community and to get good conservative Republicans elected and to get more people into this room to better educate them, to better inform them how they can make a difference with their vote. We ask each and every person here who has an ill family member or friend to bring them good health. And we ask you to help us to have a most blessed Christmas. And thank you for our Savior and our Son, your birthday boy, Jesus. Help each and every one of us to get home safe. God bless each and every one of you. Amen. Merry Christmas, guys. Again, if you would clear the tables.
Package is valued at more than $175 and will be shipped to you absolutely free. Be prepared, be equipped, and be protected. Scan the QR code in class today and receive all of this with your membership, along with your free gunshot wound urgent care kit from U.S. Law Shield.
Good evening, my name is Tom, I'm with U.S. Law Shield. I've met some of you at some meetings before, and some of you are in the class that we did. In a minute, Andrew's going to put up a QR code that you can use if you're interested in U.S. Law Shield. So real quick, how many people in here own a firearm? How many of you have a concealed carry permit? So, we don't just cover firearms, we cover any weapon, but firearms are our primary focus. If you already have a firearm, and especially a concealed carry permit, you've made the decision that you may have to protect yourself. So if that happens, how many of you think that because you did the right thing, you're going to go home and spend the next 6 months with your family with no worries? In 30 years in law enforcement, I've seen one person go home like the gentleman in the video. And that was an absolute clear-cut case of self-defense. Most times, you are going to spend at least a night in jail, or the weekend if it happens on a Friday. And in Pennsylvania, if you use your firearm in a completely justified situation, there's nothing that stops a prosecutor from charging you anyway, because it's your responsibility to prove that it was justified. And a lot of people that I run into say, the Constitution protects me, the law protects me. Now, they give you a defense when you go to trial. And you can't raise that defense until you're in front of a judge at a trial. You can't go into the prosecutor and say, the Second Amendment or this section of the law says I can do that. That does not stop them from charging you, and they're not doing anything legally wrong by charging you with everything they can. And there's also no bailing for murder cases in Pennsylvania. So you're going to spend the next 12 to 18 months in prison unless you have an attorney that knows self-defense law. And the attorneys that we have here in Pennsylvania, some of you have seen Mike at our class that we did here. He's the top self-defense attorney in the state. That's all his firm does is self-defense cases. He even teaches the District Attorneys Association what legal self-defense is in Pennsylvania. Because prosecutors don't run into a lot of self-defense cases on a regular basis. He does it every day. So what did U.S. Law Shield do? We provide you with that attorney when you need one. You don't have to worry about who am I going to call, where am I going to find an attorney, what's their background. When you join, you get unlimited legal representation for self-defense cases, criminal and civil. There's no cap on what we will spend. If it's as simple as the attorney talking to the prosecutor on the phone and convincing them they don't have a case, great, that's all it takes. If it takes appeals to the Supreme Court, we will still cover it. And we are also not owned by an insurance company, which means we don't have a list of criteria that will disqualify you. If you're a current member, it's a self-defense situation, and you are not involved in an illegal activity, because if you're committing a crime, there is no legal self-defense in Pennsylvania, then we can help you in your cover. And right now we're in a situation that creates false hope for people. We've got a lot of Supreme Court decisions that are pro-gun, pro-firearms, pro-use of force to protect yourself. But if you look at the state level, we have a lot of legislators that are trying to counter that by enacting more laws, more restrictions. And we have a lot of prosecutors that are very liberal, and they will charge you just because they have a message they want to get out. They don't like firearms, they're up for election, or they just want to have some time in the press to say how bad firearms are. And that will cost you. You're the one who's going to have to go to court, fight your case, and even if the judge throws it out 5 minutes after you get into court, it's a long process to get there. So having one of our attorneys that you can call 24/7, get immediate advice, and then an attorney will be dispatched to wherever you're at. Hospital, home, police station, Walmart parking lot. And a local attorney will be dispatched to meet you, and they will represent you in the entire case. And the other side is the civil case. Even if you're not charged and you're completely exonerated at trial, you can still be sued by the person you used force against or their family. And all they need is an attorney that's willing to take the case. And there's a lot of attorneys that pass the bar but can't find honest work, so they take any case they can get. And if you've watched the news in the last month or so, there's been cases where the juveniles broke into a gentleman's home, he shot them, they all had weapons, he was cleared, he was never charged, the family's suing him. There's another case where a young man broke into a jewelry store, was caught on surveillance video setting the jewelry store on fire, and I guess he didn't understand how gas works. He splashed all over himself, and when he lit the store on fire, he caught on fire as well. His family suing the store. There wasn't even anybody working at the store in the middle of the night when he did this. But that's going to cost each of those people a lot of money to defend that civil case. So if we do have programs to cover in-state, we have programs to cover multi-states. You saw the offer about the first aid kit. I understand it's holiday time, So we also offer another option. If you wanted to join tonight, you can get 30 days for free. Try it out, see what you think. There's no obligation, it's a month-to-month program. And you would not have any bills until after the holiday. And we offer another benefit that if there's a second adult in your household that wants to join, they can get a discounted rate on any plan, and they would also get a free month if you choose that option. So if anybody wants any more information, wants to see what the plans are, just see me at the table over here on one of the breaks, and I'll be happy to help you.
And we have a gentleman here that's going to come and model his shirt on stage here. This is what our buddy Anthony Michael has. Anyone's been to one of his seminars, and you have to go to the seminar, they're free.
This is from our lawyer, Mike.
This is the gun law firm?
Yeah.
He refers to his law firm as the gun law firm, because this is all he does, is firing.
Well, you got to go to his
How
seminar.
many have been to a Mike G seminar? Oh my, you all gotta get going. Whatever, you're gonna.
We'll have another get-together.
What's it saying in the back of my shirt there, Tom?
Lawyer up and shut up.
You're up and shut up.
That's his motto.
That's his motto, lawyer up and shut up. Anyone that's been to one of his meetings, he'll ask you that, and you know it right away, so.
Okay, yeah, if anybody has any questions, just see me. I'd be happy to help you out, explain to you what the options are. Thank you.
All right, next up is a gentleman that has more hair on his head than, like many of you have more hair on your face. So we have here from Lehigh University, the president, Harrison, from the College Republicans.
We had a little bit of scheduling conflicts. Originally, I wanted to thank our executive board members. However, Congressman Dave McCormick is actually visiting our school right now, so they unfortunately were not able to attend because they're at his event. So we'll pretend they're here. We like to give a quick thank you to our two vice presidents on the left and the right, in the middle there, Ryan Evans and Angel Costanza, and then our secretary, Henry Stoller. So, guys, give them a little round of applause. I'll call them big guys. So, I found out myself. You may wonder how I got up here, why I ended up here. I unfortunately am a New Yorker. I know, terrible. However, I'm from the decent part, Long Island. I'm from Redport. I'm not North Nassau County, so we're all right. So, I've been raised more or less a Republican my entire life. I grew up shooting. You can see up there, we have a shooting club we like to go to on weekends, shoot trap over the water. I currently, this season, am in 3rd place. A couple times a year I take even the adult category of Top Gun. So in my free time camp, at school, I've taken to keeping up some projects, just don't tell them. And back at home, I have an old Jeep I like to restore. I also work on electronics, so I know a thing or two about a thing or two. Oh, that's weird. How about that? Alright, anyway, our club mission. So many clubs, they all have mission statements. Ours is we want to promote conservative values across the college campus and make a safe space that conservative and Republican students can feel accepted and heard, especially in a private liberal arts institution as Lehigh. It's very, very rare that you really run into a lot of Republicans. Mainly it's Democrats, few independents, and especially with the way coming out of the Biden administration, school admins, they really don't like us. They are not the happiest. Like these types of clubs. I'm actually a transfer, so my last club, they got kicked off. I restarted it. So I've done this once before. Lehigh also, they didn't get kicked off, their club died, so bring it back again. Also, we like to go and give back to the local community, so our Vice President Ryan Evans, he was the second one in the photo there. He is actually on the Student Government Council, and they had a fundraiser last month for toy donations for the holidays, and as a club we were able to raise over $600, so we're making small impacts. We're not really up to where we'd like to be, because we're just starting out again. Then Also, we'd like to involve ourselves in local elections, try and help the local representatives wherever we can. So I know last meeting Scott Janny was here. I sent up a few of our executive board members to go get him some signatures for the petition. Come January when they're due, so we tried with that. You'll see a photo later on the slides. In my last school, I was part of the phone banking to try and raise support for President Trump over in Michigan before the last election. So we're hoping to do some more things like that. Next slide has our charter organization. But our charter organization, the PAFCR, does door knocking events. So before the elections, there you go. There's the logo. They did door knocking in New Jersey and Philly, and that was also to try and help raise some votes, get everyone out to vote. So we're going to start working more on that next semester, and then of course fall semester next year, getting ready for midterms. Now, both of our vice presidents are actually involved in other political clubs. So our senior vice president, Angel Costanza, who's on the left, all the way on the right there, sorry, is actually the president of the Lehigh Students for Life Club. So he's also very busy. And our younger vice president, Ryan Evans, is starting up a Turning Point chapter on the Lehigh campus. So we'll be able to recognize that. We're going to be working closely with those two in the coming months to try and really get some nice conservative values onto the Lehigh campus. See if we can't get some breakout groups. It's a hard thing to do with students, especially kids this age. No one really wants to get involved in politics, and if they do, usually it's not on our side. And previous slide, sorry, unless I'm using wrong, but the campuses there are very polarized. Public image is terrible. A lot of people think that we're extremists or that we're crazy. I know my last school, I actually, believe it or not, I tried to have a life, I tried to work for fraternity. It turns out that they didn't want me in because I was a Republican and the chair was a Democrat. So it happens. You're always going to run into some issues, but it's life. So we want to try and work on this. We want to try and make it an inclusive area for anyone who has more right-leaning values, but they're not afraid to speak up. They're not going to be stuck sitting there wondering if there's anyone else like them. I think that's it. And here, this is looking for the future. Will we succeed? I don't know. Like I said, I had success at my last school, brought back the club. I believe this year they have about 20 active members, and they're going strong, and that's in Virginia. So not quite as much of a swing state as Pennsylvania, but it's a state that went blue, and we're hoping to get back red. So we've already started to engage with, like I said earlier, Scott Janny and other local people. So we were at the committee, it was the Republican banquet over at the Hotel Bethlehem in October. Stopped for a photo, met a lot of local representatives, which was nice. That is in the middle of the photo I was talking about earlier, back in 2024 when we were doing phone bank calling in my last club for President Trump in Michigan. And then the one of that when we were supposed to see Senator Senator McCormick, and we met some other nice people from the local area that were involved in politics. So we were getting ourselves set up with a good base, getting involved. We're going to try. So if you have any questions or would like to contact us, we have a website. The URL will change when I remember the login. That's a long story. I'm unfortunately a very technical guy, so I handle all that stuff. In the meantime, if you want to get in contact with us, please contact me. My personal email is up there, phone number. And if you want to see what we've done previously, you can go to the website for my last school, which is lawrepublicans.com. Any questions real quick?
Yes, so I have a question. So I was at one of the polls. In fact, there's 2 or 3 of us that are here. There was 3 of us at the polls last year when it was the presidential election, and that was the banana factory, and there was a lot of people voting there. What is driving these folks to come out and vote for Democrats? I did speak to some of them this past November. And of course, their topics of voting were abortion and affordability. That's what they were telling me. So I knew I wasn't going to persuade them, but Is there anything you can share with us? What is driving these young folks that are going to this expensive university to vote for the Democrat Party?
Well, mainly it's the way they were raised and optics. I took a lot of advanced classes in high school, one of which was AP Government, and in that, the basic curriculum says that one of the most leading reasons for someone to be a certain political party is actually merely a basis. So a lot of these kids, they're coming from blue states. I mean, Lehigh, even Richmond, I think New York was the third most populated state they came from by the amount of kids. I'm not sure what the breakout is here, but there's a lot of Westchester, a lot of Jersey, a lot of Connecticut kids, and they all have parents that vote blue, and they're raised that way. So they don't really know what they want to, they don't really think for themselves, because it's not something that's in human nature. It's monkey see, monkey do. You're not, unless you're really challenging the ideas, you're not going to choose what you, no. It's familiar, and then also with what they think, it's, everyone wants to be the good guy. No one wants to be like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, the humanity. So, they don't like guns because, oh, guns kill people, guns are bad. Yeah, weird logic, I know. And then the abortion, I'll be honest, these people, they're a little reckless. They really don't enjoy finding out. They rather have very little consequences for their actions, which, again, they're kids. They have their whole life ahead of them to scrub, but they'd rather seem like the good guys, and all they know is they know Republicans like guns, but they think guns are bad, so that can't be it. They want, oh, more money to the poor. Let's just forget that the money doesn't go anywhere near that. All the government of foreign countries. Yeah. All the stats. New York State was the top income tax at 10%. Right, so.
Any other questions from the floor? We have Juan has a mic back here, and also we have a question right over here from Tom Campioni's side.
Take this first.
Actually, my question was going to be very similar.
Right, a little bit louder. It should switch off. Should be on.
I'll just be glad. My question is very similar. I mean, I'm from India, and even my own family, it's like, where do they get their beliefs? From media, TV? It's just, you know, usually they tend to rebel against their parents. They do the opposite. They say if you're young, you're not liberal, you're heartless. So it's like, where do they get the beliefs? Because sometimes it's just, you know, from a movie, things they hear, and one of those things, you can tell them everything you want. You can ask them questions, you can't just start thinking instead of just going with what, you know, they heard somewhere.
Yeah, it really, it's easier for them. They can see something in the media, and it's easier not to think. You have to think, you have to take responsibility. Problem is, these days, no one wants to take responsibility. No one wants common sense. I mean, I like to post photos and videos of me doing, like, common mechanical, electrical work. So at my old school, apparently, a bunch of kids were really freaked out by the fact that I knew how to do some basic electrical and mechanical work, and they're like, what the heck is this kid doing? Posting photos and videos of like how to trick the thermostats, so the room's on overheating, and how to fix things. Like, what are you doing that for? That's dangerous. You're going to get yourself hurt. They have absolutely zero ability to think for themselves. They know the rules, and they only want to stick to the rules. They don't want to think outside the box. And someone, I don't really know quite what they're getting, the rules, it's one of those things. Sometimes it's the media, sometimes it's the parents. They don't think for themselves. There's a little back there.
First of all, my name is Joseph, and I just want to say thank you for coming here. And appreciate you coming here. Yeah.
I think that's happening.
And you said you raised $600, and I got this tone from you that you're really excited that you raised $600. And how can we help you as a group? Like how, you're doing turning points, you're doing knocking on doors, you're doing everything that we do, we promote as a group here. But yet you're the youth, you have so much energy, and how can we feed off of you?
So that's a great question. Starting in next semester, we are going, unfortunately this semester we got off to a slow start, club been in debt for a year and a half, so we weren't at the club fair, there were no new members, I only took over in October. So we're behind the ball, but next semester we're going to come out strong. We're going to start we're going to start with door-knocking campaigns. We're going to start calling. We're going to start doing little local events and figuring out what charities we can donate to, what fundraisers we can do, any community service events we can go to, and eventually, what's interesting is my last school, they actually completely funded all the clubs, just put in a request, they give you however much you want. So this school is actually different, they pretty much hate giving out money, so eventually we will have to start fundraising, and that really is one of the largest things that we're going to need help with eventually. Not yet, but soon we might.
So, is he a keeper, folks?
Yes.
I'm looking for someone to sponsor him for membership tonight. So, if you would like to sponsor this gentleman for Lv-Maga sponsorship. Also, guess who is coming next month? Tom Campion has secured Noah from Turning Point. Yes, so we're going to make sure he has a front row seat there. So again, if you would like to sponsor him for membership, take him over there to the membership table. And we want to thank him very much for being brave there. God bless him.
Also, if anyone wants, like I said, I'm mechanical. I pre-printed out a bunch of little LEU CR trinkets, so if anyone wants, I will whole pile them over at the table. Just come to me during lunch break. So
let's give him a round of applause, folks. All right, next up is Heather, and she is going to speak to you briefly about making sure you get your vote in early. On deck, Lv-Maga.
Hi, I'm Heather Christine, and this is Jeanette Roble. We are with Early Vote Action. We just want to make sure that you know that you can apply right now for your 2026 mail-in ballot. If you sign up today, you will get your mail-in ballot for the primary and also for the general election. We have to really make sure that we get as many Republicans as possible to sign up for mail-in ballots in 2026. I know you all don't like them. Typically, the Republican Party does not like mail-in ballots. But the statistics from this election, 75% of Democrats, that's the breakdown of mail-in ballots this election in the state of Pennsylvania. Democrats had 75% of them. And then total votes, the Democrats had 57% of the vote. So they not only outvoted us on election day, but they outvoted us on mail-in ballots as well. And there were various issues this year with mail-in ballots and some other things, but we have to make sure that we protect our votes. And in Chester County this year, you're probably aware, 75,000 people who are independents, their names were left off the voter rolls and they had to vote provisionally. So if they had a mail-in ballot, then they would have been able to just take their vote immediately and bring it to the county election office. Mail-in ballots are how we protect our votes. It's how we ensure that we are immune from any fraud, from any threats that happen, electrical issues. And we all know that this year in 2026, they're coming for Ryan McKenzie. We need Ryan McKenzie to win that seat. If Ryan McKenzie loses and they get a couple more, pick up the additional seats, they're going to go impeach our president. So it's really important that we make sure that we protect Ryan McKenzie, we re-elect him, and you get your mail-in ballot.
Here, here.
So yes, those are a few things that the different electrical issues, the machines, and different issues like that. Specifically for Lehigh County, this election, 2025 election, several people have reached out to me that were Republican voters, Republican poll workers, and different things like that, young poll workers. And there were a variety of issues, but the biggest thing, even one person in the state constable. So, for example, the two precincts that he was covering, Republicans were showing up, and voters were showing up that had switched their party from Democrat and Republican, and that was the commonality of all the people showing up that were taking off the voter roll. Had those people requested the mail-in ballot, they would have gotten it, at least had it to secure their vote when they showed up that day. Of course, then they have to vote provisionally. The other big issue that significant amount of co-workers reported to me is that typically in the last 5 years, they've had 1 to 2 Republicans show up saying a mail-in ballot was requested on their behalf, but they didn't do it. This year, they're saying it's about 8 or 9 people per precinct that are getting mail-in ballots requested that they didn't request. So even if you request it and you don't use it, at least it's not being used. And the problem is that when you request the mail-in ballot, I mean, the problem and the good thing is that, well, so, sorry, the good thing is that you put your email address on there and you can track it. So as soon as the application is submitted, you're getting notified. As soon as it's mailed, you're getting notified. And as soon as it's processed, you're notified. However, if you're not the person that's requesting that, it can go to any address. You can have your mail-in ballot go to any address that you choose. So pretty much the theory is, at least in Lehigh County, with what the information is that's given to me by the co-workers that have been in these precincts, is that these are people who typically would not vote in a year that's not a presidential year, and they showed up in 2025, and they were told that they either voted or that a mail-in ballot was requested for them. So, like I said, even if they would have just requested it and they didn't even choose to vote, at least that vote's not being used, that ballot's not being used by someone else. So, we hate it. We don't want to do it. We want them to be gone. We know that they're used to cheat, but if Republicans can stop them from being used to cheat, the only way to do that is to request one, hold on to it, and then either use it at your precinct on election day, which we don't really recommend unless you're actually going to use it yourself and fill it out yourself. Otherwise, if you fill it out yourself and drop it off at the Lehigh County Election Office, we do have a chain of custody in there now where we have people that are supportive of us, and they're the ones that's actually getting it from the drop-off, securing it with the sheriff, and opening them up there on election day. And in addition, we do have an overwhelming number of people, Republicans for ones that are actually there watching, making sure that the ballots, in the election office are being counted and not put in boxes and not filled out and all that stuff. And I personally was there even, for doing the handcuffs and stuff like that. So there is a chain of custody. But if anybody has any questions or anything like that, like I said,
there's a meeting that happens every year, every single election, and I don't know that we're going to stop that. But in 2024, President Trump won, and Ryan.
Again, we want to thank Ben White and his beautiful wife, new board member of Lv-Maga, for being our coffee sponsor. Thank you, Mr. Ben White. Everyone, and we are looking for a sponsor for next month, for January. All right, seats please. Up on deck is Mr. Bill Lv-Maga. As soon as he gets up on stage, there's a bottle of water adjacent to the podium. And if you think about your undivided, yes, we can hope that his microphone is working well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome friend and patriot Bill Lv-Maga, member of the NRA, actually the president of the National Rifle Association, and he just made me an official recruiter tonight. So I'll tell you more about that.
Any angle he wants to make money, he wants to be a recruiter. Make sure you hold on to your wallet while he's talking to you. So, good evening, everyone. And I tell you, it's really humbling to have been elected the president of the NRA. It's something that, I was on the board for a good many years, and I never strive for it. All my friends are making fun of me because I said I would never be part of leadership. And last year, we just had to make significant changes at NRA. And how many are NRA members in the room? Thank you.
Not enough!
And it's okay, they're not getting out the door without a membership. And I want to thank you all for hanging in there all these years. The NRA was founded back in 1871, 154 years ago. Anyone know why it was founded?
Getting our asses kicked by the Spanish.
We were not getting our asses kicked by the Spanish. That was another one. But I heard, and I think it has something to do with
equal rights for blacks and gun ownership.
That's true. We were the oldest and largest civil rights organization. And we had the Buffalo Soldiers as NRA members back in the late 1800s. But what we were founded was, during the Civil War, the Union soldiers couldn't hit anything. But I'm going to ask a question. How many shots, this is documented now, how many shots did it take for a Union soldier to hit a Confederate? If someone can get that, I'll give you my president's challenge point. 25. 10?
1.
15.
1.
All right, you know what? You guys aren't even in the right universe. Yes, sir. 1,000. You get the challenge point. 1,000 shots to hit a Confederate. Think about it. Where did the Union soldiers come from? The cities, right? They didn't have the opportunity, like when I grew up on the farm, I went out and shot rats at the burning pit and groundhogs, right? That was our fun. I had a 22 under my bed when I was 12 years old, and nobody said it was dangerous. Nobody said, what am I doing? It's just how times change. So the Union generals founded Camp Free, the NRA back in 1871. And guess what state we were founded in? New York State. Now, get this. We were chartered in New York back in the late 1800s. And we left New York State because in the late 1800s they were already anti-gun. Yes.
Wow.
Right? And we moved then to New Jersey. I have a book. You can't make this shit up. So yes, we moved to New Jersey, but we never moved our charter out of New York. And it's still there today, unfortunately, and that's what got us tripped up about 8 years ago with the New York Attorney General. So we'll get that out of New York in the next couple of years once we get released from that. So that's a quick little history about where the NRA came from. And it was really founded on scientific shooting, precision shooting. And through the years, that's what we did, competitions all around the country. And then 50 years ago, we started something called ILA, the Institute for Legislative Action, because of the issues of the legislatures trying to outlaw guns. And ILA is now 50 years old this year, and we've had some phenomenal wins, 4 Supreme Court cases. But what's interesting is even though the U.S. Supreme Court rules we have certain rights, the states don't care. The towns don't care. Even in Pennsylvania, I hear it all the time, why are you not an NRA member? Well, our state constitution says we have the right to own guns. Well, go to Philadelphia, go to Pittsburgh, go out to York County, and see if they're abiding by that. We are three state senators away from being New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, California. 3. You got to get up and vote, people, and you got to get your friends to vote. Every year we stand up and we say the same thing, this is the most important election ever. But these midterms are extremely important because if not, we're going to have a 2-year president. And Trump's going to have to fight impeachment every turn he gets. So I don't know what we're going to do to wake the population up, but you guys, not us here, but they want to vote for the communists and socialists. It's just amazing what's going on out there. As I talked about, I got elected last April as the first vice president. And you know what they say, no good deed goes unpunished? 30 days later, I get a notice from the New York State Attorney General that I got to come in for depositions. And had to spend a full day with their lawyers asking me all these questions about trying to trap me about what's going on at NRA. Well, it didn't end there. About 60 days later, I wind up in front of a judge in a courthouse in Manhattan with NRA on the left and Trump's courtroom on the right. They wanted to shut us down and put us out of business. That was the goal at any cost. And while I was testifying, and this was a bench trial, it was very unusual. It was just me and the judge, and the attorney, the NRA attorney, asking me questions. And I'm like, okay, the fate of the NRA and the future of the NRA is based on what I'm going to testify on and a few others. And they said, Bill, don't worry about it, you only have a half hour. Right? Okay, what can I screw up in a half hour? 2.5 hours later. Believe it or not, we really had a good judge. While he was a Democrat judge, he was fair. And he asked some really hard questions, good questions, that, I was somewhat briefed on, but you never know what they're going to ask. And he said to me, Mr. Valkenburg, how do we know NRA is not going to go back to its old ways? And some of you know about the old ways of what happened with some mismanagement, some flights, some jack suits, some other things. And I don't know why I said this, but I said, Your Honor, this is the new NRA 2.0. And we have all this compliance, we have whistleblower, we have all these new policies and procedures in place that with the right gatekeepers, it can't happen again. When he issued his decision, he used the word, this is the new NRA 2.0. That's where we're marketing, and my challenge point has on it the NRA 2.0. It's the future of NRA. It's where we're taking the organization. And I was elected president this past April. The president of NRA is the president of the board of directors. 76 board members. 76 type A's. 76 that know it all. 76 that text me, email, and call me. But what we've done over the last 2 years is we've cleaned the house of most of those board of directors that was the problem board of directors of past. So thank you. And we did a great job at that with a lot of help. The president gets to appoint all the members of all the committees. We have 40 committees, right? 40. And when the New York State Attorney General said, do we need all these directors and do we need all these committees? And I said, I don't shoot competitive black powder. I don't shoot competitive action. I don't shoot F-class. I don't do this, I don't do that. I'm not a woman. I'm not a youth. These 40 committees have all this expertise on to set policy for NRA. This is how NRA operates, is the board takes input from all the members, the committees bring all that together, the committees report, and then vote on, and then direct the staff at NRA to do the programs. So we need these amount of committees. We don't need all these directors. All right. I'll be honest with you, is we really need a board of about 9 to 11 board members, and the rest can be subject matter experts advising the board. And that's somewhere I'd like to take it, but when you've got 76 board members that want to be there and want that ego or whatever the reason to be there, it's hard for them to vote to reduce the size of the board. But we're working on it. And I think you will see changes, maybe not at our next board meeting here in January, but I do have a bylaw change coming to change the number of directors to start reducing that over time. And if we can reduce 10 directors a year, Over 3 years, that's 30 less directors, and we're starting to go in the right direction. So that's how NRA operates. If you're reading my columns, how many read my columns? Well, thank you. I really appreciate that, because I've gotten over 800 emails, and people are asking me the same questions that are in my columns, and the same questions that are on my website. So it's a little bit of a struggle there. But if you read the last couple of issues, and I just finished today the February column about the vision of where your leadership team wants to take NRA. We had over 160 different programs. 160 programs. And none of them were of excellence, except Iowa, Institute for Legislative Action. That's just a phenomenal group of what they're doing. What we've decided to do is we're going to take this down to 8 programs, 8 core programs, 8 that takes NRA back to its mission. Clubs and association, competitions, those traditional and new competitions, education and training, hunting, conservation, military law enforcement, sport shooting and disabled shooting, youth and women, which are our future. And that's where we're taking this, and we're building this, we're creating strategic plans for each one of those areas. And in those strategic plans, we're using our constituents' knowledge to help us round them out. We're bringing the right staff on, the right funding. And once you have a strategic plan and you start following it, we can then review it every year, whether we're making progress and moving forward. This is brand new thinking at NRA. We've never had business leaders running the organization. And what I said in my column today is your first vice president, Mark Vaughn, who's a businessman from Oklahoma City, and Rocky Marshall from near Kerrville, Texas. The 3 of us are all solid businessmen. We're change agents. We know how to make things happen and get change. And I'm so excited to have a solid team to bring the organization forward. And we have Doug Hamlin, your executive vice president, who's working closely. We talk sometimes twice a day on problem solving and what we need to do to bring the organization forward. You also read the column, we did a reorg, right? First time ever, back October 31st. I always remember it now because it's Halloween. Unfortunately, 38 unfortunate employees were furloughed, but it had to be done because we had to become more member-centric, more customer service. And that's the direction of the organization. We'll have some really good stuff coming out after the first of the year. I wish I could share that with you. But I'm super excited with this new marketing company we brought in, the internal marketing group. Is everyone happy? Do you think you get enough emails from us? Like 170 million emails in the first half of the year. Insane. Absolutely insane, because everybody was doing whatever they wanted to do. It's now going to go through a gatekeeper, and she's going to manage that whole process. It's not going to happen today. It's already started, but it's being worked on. The other thing is, when we created the new committee structure, the 3 officers, we have a membership committee. Right? What a novel idea to have a membership committee. Guess how many times they met in the last 10 years? Not 1,000. Twice in 10 years. Because, what they say, who's running the insane asylum? Our committees now are meeting monthly, the important ones. The governance committees are meeting monthly or every other month. I charged the membership committee on a couple of fronts. One is we need an app, right? If we want to attract younger Second Amendment, younger shooters, younger hunters, they're doing everything with this, right? My boys are 17, they won't read the magazines, right? They will not. They came to me the other night and said, what happened to our social media? I'm like, oh, great, you know. They says, it's improved 1,000% in the last 2 weeks because we brought a young person on that understands social media. I don't do social media. So what we're doing is we're leveraging our help out, or, you know, our people and our members. We're launching something new called member benefits. So your $35, $45 membership at the end of the year could be worth $2,000 to $3,000. If you want to get a night vision scope from Pulsar, as a member, you're going to get a $999 discount. If you want to buy a Daniel Defense AR, you're going to get a discount. If you want a Daniel Defense handgun, you're going to get a discount. If you want to buy a Lancer AR, Underwood ammo, we're building a whole list of specialized discounts that you will not be able to buy in the street. They will be real benefits to your membership. So when it comes back to renewing your membership, you're going to say, hey, I saved $1,000 for $35 membership. Even though we're protecting your Second Amendment rights every day, we're going to give you something back. And we're in our infancy of the program. It's being soft launched. You'll start seeing it coming out in the materials. But we already have some great vendors that are coming forward. Local company here that makes these self-sealing targets that when you shoot them change color, they're going to be part of the program. We got a company that makes soap to wash your hands from lead that really works. So we're bringing on a lot of value to your membership, and that's something that's been missing for a long, long time. It's no more of a wine club or a cigar club or a picture frame. You're welcome. Pisses me off. It's insulting, right? And when they started to launch the program in the beginning of October, it was too early and they had nothing but junk on there. So, you know, we've got Penn Fed, the credit union's got some good offerings there. Old Glory Bank now is a new member. I don't know how many you're familiar with Old Glory Bank out of Oklahoma. But now you've got a conservative bank that's working for the Second Amendment here. I'm going to just open it up to questions. My timer still says I have 30 minutes, so I'm going and going until you throw me off the stage. Yes, brother. How long is my sentence as president? It is 2 one-year terms. So I will be up for re-election come April in Houston, Texas. Before I forget, too, is the Great American Outdoor Show is coming up in February. February 7th through the 15th out in Harrisburg. If you've never been to the show, it's the world's largest outdoor show. And you know, it's going to snow during the week one day. It always does. Right? The concert that's on Saturday, the last Saturday, I believe, is almost already sold out. And we're looking to bring another concert in a little bit earlier. I meet Lee Greenwood's manager on Monday, and we're looking at some ideas to bring another concert to that show. Yes, sir.
Bill, can we vote now?
Can we what?
Can we vote now?
You know, we do a lot. The 3 officers were on the phone. Like I have a 9:15 tonight with my 2 other officers. We're all, and a lot of times they're virtual meetings, facial, you know. And this has been a 70 to 80-hour work week. It's been brutal. I'm telling you, it's exhausting. And a couple of weeks ago, I got on and I said, guys, I'm done. I had it. I can't do this anymore. I'm glad Mark's going to take over as the president. the facial and the body language was priceless. I should have had a photo of it. I never planned to run for president. I had no desire to be leadership. But the way NRA goes is the way the Second Amendment is going to go in this country. And if we lose our Second Amendment rights in this country, the free world's over. And I talked to some international leaders, and they're really scared of what's going on in this country right now. So it's an honor. I'm humbled by it. I'm never used to people coming up to me and say they want selfies, or can I sign their book, or can I? It's just, it's odd because that's not what I'm used to, but it is such an unbelievable prestigious position to be in that I still pinch myself that it's real, because it's just not who I am. But yes, you can, it's the board that will vote for me. So of the 76 board members, we now have a supermajority on the board that's moving forward with what we're doing. So, yes, sir.
So, what do you think of groups like the Firearms Policy Coalition? I know you guys were just named with them in a lawsuit against Jersey, is 1-4-30 lawsuit, if I'm not mistaken.
This is the new, I don't want to say gentler and kindler NRA, but we are definitely making a lot of changes. There are a lot of other Second Amendment groups that, we're $150 million and they're $3 or $4 or $5 million, and that they just don't have the clout. But they have members and they have some good people, and we're teaming up with all those other groups, because divided we fall. And if we all work together, you'll see a lot of our lawsuits out there right now is that we've teamed up with other groups. We're the adults in the room. I was just with Congressman Dan Buser a couple weeks ago, and he said the Hill is so excited that NRA is back. And I got invited to the White House on Sunday for the Christmas party. Our Executive Vice President got invited. We are back, and we're going to be a huge powerhouse.
Bill, I think about a year ago, you mentioned that there's a lot of NRA Pennsylvanians who didn't register to vote. Has there been any improvement since that time? What can we do to fix that?
Go out and kick them in the... It's so unfortunate. There's about 168,000 hunters, 168,000 conservative hunters, not liberal hunters, but conservative hunters that are not registered to vote in Pennsylvania. We brought out, and I don't have all the numbers off, but we brought out about 588,000 hunters to vote last year. That made the difference. If you look at the difference of what McKinsey won by, about 6,000 votes, we brought in about 16,000 hunters. If you look at what Bresnahan won by, very similar numbers. We brought in about 14,000 hunters up there. And Scott Perry's district, PA 10, that was a counted on loss. And bringing the hunters out helped flip it. Now, it wasn't only the hunters, please. It was everybody. It was every little bit of what everyone did to make it work. But we were a large portion of that. So, I don't know what's going to take to motivate them. I mean, it's complacency, and it's very frustrating. But if you look at the numbers, Zogby says there's about between 20 and 30 million NRA members. Our membership isn't that big, but there's so many individuals that believe they're NRA members or were at one time, and we do all vote pretty much as a good block. So that's where the politicians want the NRA support. I've been invited to go down to Texas to 2 districts down there that are looking for support. we do poll, we've won multiple races, and that's why we're the target. That's why they're trying to put us out of business. Yes, Sam?
Let's say he took half my question, but for the
well, what's your half?
I was going to say thank you for doing such a great job last year helping get the vote out. Are there plans to expand that for the midterms and maybe like more advertisements and stuff like that?
Well, like Trump would say, we're not going to tell the enemy what we're doing. But we've become much, much more efficient with technology. And we just had they're not quite done yet, but we got the report on Monday. We had a major IT audit of the whole organization. I brought in an outside firms, how we can exploit technology. And the ideas and capabilities just blow your mind. I mean, there are organizations that want to help us. I had a company come to me and says, we will give you our data for free. We will match it up to your members. The support out there is phenomenal. It's so comforting to know that that's out there. And what we used to spend, I guess it was 2016, we spent $60 million. Yes, on Trump. That $60 million we could probably do for 20 today. And we're getting better at it. The target market. It's significant. And, I guess some of you knew I ran for party chairman. We knew that wasn't going to go anywhere because how rigged our Republican system is here in PA. But they could take a lot of notes from what we're doing and implementing technology and motivating and training. I mean, there's so many great opportunities of what we could be doing here in this state, and we're doing nothing. It is so frustrating to me. The gratifying part is, had I won being state party chairman, I don't think I could have gotten anything done. I really don't. With NRA, we're making significant